if you, of course, stay in your word, you kind of see the parallels, and you see kind of the history repeats itself when it comes to government, all the things. So I'm sure, as we know, it's a lot of people upset with the way things are being ran, right? But let's go in the word, where this is just a repeat of history that God has already shown us when we choose other things and people other than him. So with that being said, things like voting, if you participate in voting, Christian or not, if you say you are a believer in Christ and you have a political party that you root for, we got some more digging to do. Okay, so let's get right to it. Where God has already shown us that he is displeased with us choosing others, people, to lord over us, over him. And what we're about to read is where the children of Israel asked for a king. So let's get into it. When Samuel, well, actually it's chapter 8 verse, let's start at verse 4. So 1 Samuel chapter 8 verse 4. So all the leaders of Israel gathered together and came to Samuel at Ramah. They said to him, "You are old, and your sons do not follow your ways. Now appoint a king to lead us, as such all the other nations have." But when they said, "Give us a king to lead us," this displeased Samuel. So he prayed to the Lord, and the Lord told him, Listen to all that the people are saying to you. It's not you they have rejected, but they have rejected me as their king, as they have done from the day I brought them up out of Egypt unto this day, forsaking me and serving other gods. So they are doing to you. Now listen to them, but warn them solemnly, and let them know what the king who will reign over them will claim as his rights. So we'll stop right there. So God is telling Samuel to tell the children of Israel, you want a king so bad. You want a king so bad. I'm going to give you a king. But God was displeased with this, because God is wanting to, God, in his heart, he's disappointed with the fact that his children, though his chosen people, don't trust him enough to be Lord, to be their God. So when you are choosing a political party, just know that you're serving another God. When you submit and surrender yourself to, and you have more fear of the government, political parties, those in leadership that don't even fear God in the slightest. When you put your trust in, you put your ability to survive in, you put your life in their hands, you put your survival in their hands, you cry out to them to help you, you cry out to them to provide for you, but you call yourself a follower of Christ. But these are the people you look to, and you operate with a carnal mind when it comes to leadership and things like that. You want a physical leader. You are saying when you're protesting, and I know I'm going to get some backlash for this, and it's okay. It's cool, because we don't operate like the world operates. True children of God, true ones that follow Christ, we don't operate the way the world operates. We don't look at things the way the world operates, or the way the world look at things, like being worried about who's in this office or who's in that seat, who's doing this, who's in leadership, you're doing the same thing that the children of Israel did way back when. This ain't nothing new to God. So he's telling Samuel to warn them. And we're going to see what God is telling him to warn them about when it comes to this king that they want so bad. And y'all tell me if you see or hear the similarities between then, over 2,000 years ago, and now. So, let's continue. Verse 10. Samuel told all the words of the Lord to the people who were asking him for a king. He said, "This is what the king who will reign over you will claim as his rights. He will take your sons and make them serve with his chariots and horses. He will make them go to war for him. And they will run in front of his chariots. Some he will assign to be commanders of thousands and commanders of fifties, and others to plow his ground and reap his harvest. And still others to make weapons of war and equipment for his chariots. He will take your daughters to be perfumers, and cooks and bakers. He will take the best of your fields and vineyards and olive groves and give them to his attendants. He will take a tenth of your grain of your vintage and give it to his officials and attendants. Your male and female servants and the best of your cattle and donkeys he will take for his use. He will take a tenth of your flocks, and you yourselves will become his slaves. When that day comes, you will cry out for relief from the king you have chosen, but the Lord will not answer you in that day." But the people refused to listen to Samuel. "No," they said, "we want a king over us. Then we will be like all the other nations with a king to lead us and to go out before us and fight our battles." Does that not sound familiar? The people are crying out, bills too high, rent too high, groceries too high. It's too much. We can't afford it. They're not doing this enough. They're not giving us enough that. They're taking our tax money. Where is our tax money going? Where is this? Where is that? Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. But God said, warn the people. Samuel warned the people. God has sent his prophets to warn the people, yet the people continue to do what the people want to do and then cry out to God or throw their fist up at God, mad at God. Well, how could God allow this? Now imagine the people, after Samuel warned them, and the people coming back and saying, why would God allow this? They're in slavery. They're not able to break free from the 9 to 5. They're not able to break free and live life. They're not able to enjoy the God-given fruits of this earth. Water. Water is a luxury, will become a luxury. Imagine them coming back and saying, how could God allow something like this when God forewarned you? God forewarned you. Do not, that's the first commandment. You shall have no other God before me. Why are you begging? Why are you protesting? Why are you fighting for another king? Why are you trying to make another king that is operating under evil intentions? Don't care nothing about your cries. Do not move the enemy in the way you think. Your cries motivate the enemy to become more wicked, to find more ways to entertain himself with your misery. The enemy feeds off and grows off of and finds his being and life joy in making people cry, miserable, and continue to cry out to him. And the enemy eats it up. He eats it up because you walk in ignorance. You walk in blindness to your God that's been crying out to you, that has been sending prophet after prophet for centuries. And his people continue to do the same thing over and over and over, all throughout history. And people still don't get it. Still not getting it. It still ain't clicking, Stephen. But hopefully revelation comes to you today. If you say you are a follower of Christ, you should not be out here fighting to vote. And this is something I can speak on. I have not voted a day in my life. Okay? I will not. I will not participate, because this government is not my king. This government is not my provider. This government can't do nothing for me that my king cannot do for me. Because he is a sovereign Lord. He is a sovereign king. So guess what? The evil, wicked person that was put in place, whether you voted for him or not, everybody wants to scream about who voted for Trump. It don't matter. If you voted for the other side, you're just choosing the lesser evil. And you're still, as a person that follows Christ, you are still choosing another God over him. So it don't matter. They all on the same team. It's an illusion. We know this. You know this, because most people that vote either side, Republican, Democrat, whatever, you will hear a lot of people say they all on the same team. There's only two teams, period, that exist. Evil and good. Light and dark. Those are the only two powers that be. Let's keep it real. So when you choose any side of the government, you are choosing the enemy. Period. You are choosing another God. Right? You are saying, I want a king of my choosing. I want a king of my choosing. I want a Republican in office. I want a Democrat in office. Either way, you choosing another king. But where's King Jesus? And you can't serve two gods. You can't. Either you're going to love one and hate the other. Jesus said it. Jesus said it. You going to love one or hate the other. So if you love the government, if you love the setup of this world that the enemy has set up, then you're going to hate the ways of Christ, because the two are enmity with each other. If I'm pronouncing that right. The two clash. It don't go together. The ways of God and the ways of this world and the ways of this government and the way they set things up for us to live, two totally polar opposites. If you love the way your party runs things, I can almost guarantee you don't like the way Jesus runs things. You don't like his ways, for real. And you don't really trust him to lead. Why is God's people not saying Jesus is king? Jesus is my Lord. Completely depart and abandon all of that. Stop the voting. Stop all of that. We are set apart. We are called to be set apart. God's remnant, if you have ears to hear, let them hear. Let them hear. And for those that would want to say, well, if there's no leadership, then the world would be in chaos. We would all be in chaos if there's no leadership and there's no... Pause right there. See, that thinking is part of the problem. Okay? Because do you know who my king is? Do you know who my father is? I don't think you do. Not speaking like that. And if you are a follower of Christ, you should know better than to think like that, because out of all throughout history, once again, history shows itself. He has shown himself throughout history and how he run things, how he do things. He has called and chosen people from the beginning of time to carry out his will and do his bidding and be his hands and feet in the earth. Moses, Joshua, he has always called and chosen people, and those people that he called to lead a people or a nation, he empowered them. He gave them instructions. He empowered them to lead. He empowered them to do all that he had called them to do. Right? And that doesn't mean to follow people blindly. No, because let me give an example of with the children of Israel. God has always given us a chance to be in connection with him. That's another part of God's character. He has always given his people a chance to be close to him and be near him. That's all God wants. With the children of Israel at the mount, and I would have to grab that scripture. I can post it in the comments. But he met them when Moses brought them over, and they had to sanctify themselves before they went to the mount, and God met them in a cloud of fire. And they told Moses, no. They told Moses, you go hear from God for us, and then come back and tell us what he said. So they had the opportunity to hear from God face to face, the same way Moses do. The only difference is Moses feared God, but he was not afraid of God. There's a difference. The children of Israel, they were afraid of God, but they did not fear God. And how we know that they did not fear God? Because they constantly chose other gods before him, when he has repeatedly stated, serve no other God, serve no other God before me, serve no other God but me. Yet they continue to do it every chance they got. Every chance they got. They scoff, they mock, they challenge God every step of the way. But he continuously showed his power. He continuously showed who he was. He continuously revealed himself, and they continued to spit in his face and act as though they did not see all the many miracles that God had already done right before their face. God had done the impossible. And still, he showed himself in a cloud of fire. So much so they was passing out. They couldn't even handle it. God didn't even show his face, and they couldn't even take the weight. They couldn't take the pressure of being in the presence of God. He showed himself mighty before these people, and still they wanted another physical God before them. How much more physical can you get than that?